And then, all of a sudden, amidst my run, I'm being picked up by the elbow. Story time! So some time ago, I was a young grasshopper. And I remember telling you guys in one of my other stories that some of my original stories were inspired by real life events. And so I have another story here on YouTube titled Freddy's and Caesar's Story. I don't even know if that's what I titled it. But I'm sure it has Freddy and Caesar in the title, okay? And that story was inspired by a time that my brother almost made me lose my life. I told y'all about the time he saved my life. Now I'm about to tell you about the time he almost made me lose my life, all right? So, we were probably both in elementary school, and if not both, I was in elementary school and he was in middle school. I was probably in like the 5th grade, 10, maybe 11. And so we had lived in this townhouse, and in the back of the townhouse, you know, in a lot of townhouses, you don't really have a whole lot of backyard space. It's usually like fenced off because it's a townhouse, but this one, everybody shared this one large green area. And so you walk out onto the back, I don't want to say balcony, the back patio. I don't know why that word eluded me so much. Anyways, the back patio. You walk beyond the patio and there's grass, and then there's a hill that goes all the way down, and then there's forest. Okay? I hope that I created a vivid image there for you guys. So every now and then, my mom would just run out the street, and where we lived, there was this store that I'm sure is no longer in business, but it was called Mars, and it was right down the street. It was in walking distance, and so every now and then she would just run out, grab something from the grocery store, especially if she was in the middle of cooking and she discovered there was something that she didn't have. So at this time, my brother and we were in the house, and it was only for a couple of minutes that we were alone, but those couple of minutes felt like an eternity, and I'm gonna tell you why. So he asked if I wanted to go outside in the backyard just to play catch. Honestly, no, I didn't. I did not. It wasn't because I thought we were gonna get in trouble. We were just gonna be in the backyard. It wasn't because I had other plans at my old age of 10. I just didn't want to do it. I said no. I said no. And he was like,
come on, I think it'll be fun. If you come outside in the backyard and play catch with me, I'll do your homework for the rest of the week.
Huh. Let me tell y'all something about my brother's attention span. It didn't exist. I know that a lot of you were expecting me to say it was short. It didn't exist. It wasn't there. Okay, he paid attention to certain things for such a small amount of time that wasn't worth measuring. So yeah, we were chilling watching cartoons, but he lost interest. And so now it was time. It was the opportune time, as our mother was out the street, to go in the backyard and start playing catch. But that's how it starts. It starts with catch. And it always leads to a much more, far too involved and dangerous adventure. And I wasn't in the mood for it. Not even at the age of 10. Shucks. So I agreed because he proposed a wonderful proposal, which was to do my homework for the week. So he grabbed our slightly deflated football and we went to the backyard. So, as I was mentioning before, there's the patio, there's the grass, and then there's the hill. So he was like,
why don't you go down the hill and I'll throw the ball down to you, and whoever, if you are able to throw it back up to me, then we'll switch and we'll keep doing that.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to throw this football back up the hill to you, bruh. It's not gonna work.
Come on, that's how the game works. Those are the rules.
So I was like, all right, but I'm only doing it to prove to you that it's not gonna work. I was logical. I was falling for it, but I was being logical. So I I started my journey down the hill. I'm just trekking down the hill, and I hear in the distance a dog barking. You always hear dogs barking, okay? Because we lived in townhomes in a neighborhood where people had dogs, all right? I start trekking down the hill and I hear the dog barking, but then, you know, as I'm getting closer to the bottom of the hill, the dog barking gets louder and louder until it felt like it was incredibly close to me. And I hear my brother yelling in the distance,
Ashley, watch out.
and I just happen to look over my shoulder and there it is. There's that dog barking, coming after me. It was me that it was coming after. It was running after me. I was being chased by a dog. And so I didn't even scream. I just went into overdrive. I was running for my life. I just hauled tail. I was running.
I was running.
Oh my god, this is it. I'm gonna die. This is the end of it.
And then the dog starts to bark. You know, he's I don't know. I guess he's excited. I don't know. But I'm scared. I'm scared to death. And then I hear in a distance somebody say something that sounds similar to Alizé. And then all of a sudden, amidst my run, I'm being picked up by the elbow. And out the corner of my eye, because I'm like hanging, okay, I see a foot that looks awfully similar to my mother's. And it goes towards the dog's front legs. This lady that I'm sure was the woman who said Alizé starts to say,
Come here, Alizé. Don't touch my dog.
woo! So my mom is now holding me by the arm and I'm hanging and she's walking back up the hill, yelling at this lady, cussing at this lady, and it is just an elaborate show. I'm being swung, okay? And so every now and then I catch a glimpse of my brother's face pushed up against the balcony door as he's looking outside at what's going on. My brother, in safety, protected by the door of the balcony, by the confines of the walls of our home, the home that I was once in, the home that I was once safely inside of, the home that does not have a dog. So my mother,
You need to get control of your flipping dog. I wanna bust your backside. If this
it was just one thing after the other, a whole bunch of explicits and profanities. It was just a series of Caribbean insults. It was just back and forth, okay? Throughout all of this, I am still hanging by just this part of my arm as my mother's holding me up, just yelling, okay? And so eventually I end up getting dragged back to our home, and my mother then looks at the two of us and asked us,
what made you lose your mind to leave the house in the 2 minutes that I walk out the street?
and so I looked at my brother and I completely blamed everything on him because I was distraught, I was traumatized, and it was all his fault. All his fault, okay? And so yes, I pointed the finger in his direction and he denied it. He was like,
What? No, we both wanted to go outside. So we both went outside.
he wasn't about to go down alone. That's not even the highlight of this story. No. No. We sit down, my mom goes back to cooking, tells us to never do that again. She's promising to whoop our backside. You know, like, we're still in trouble. We're sitting down in the living room waiting for an ass whooping. You know what my brother gonna say to me?
I don't think you ever caught the football. What are we gonna do about my football? Bruh. Bruh.
Long story short, following that moment were a series of other moments where I allowed my brother to convince me to get myself into situations that I really knew better than to get myself into. Anywho, make sure that you guys pretty please share with me what kind of stories you'd like to hear more of. Share your own stories and I'd be happy to recite them and tell them in as creative way as I possibly can. Make sure that you check out my editor, Blake Quake Beats. It's my literary masterpieces. I am going to do my darndest to start getting some merch out. And I think what I'm also going to try to see if I can start doing is some storytelling podcasts, because so many of you have been asking for me to do some audiobooks, and I'd love to. Anyways, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to hit the subscribe, don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you for joining.
What's up, man? You here? What up, man? Come here, guys. It don't bite.